Frozen secrets. The discovery, the wind screamed across the white planet, howling like a ghost trapped in an endless winter. Snow whipped through the air, blinding everything, covering the land in silence and ice. No trees, no animals. Just snow, cold, and the hum of distant engines. Team Echo 7 had been sent to explore this frozen planet 2 weeks ago. Most of the crew wanted to go home. Nothing lived here. No signs of alien ruins. No life. Just cold. Painful, biting cold. But today, something changed. Inside their base camp, located deep inside a rocky ice cave, Commander Rin tapped the screen on his portable scanner. His face, usually calm, now showed something new: confusion. "This can't be right," he whispered. "What's wrong?" asked Kara, the team's engineer, sipping her half-frozen protein coffee. "There's a heat signature," Rin said, pointing to the blinking dot on the screen. "About 300 meters west of here. Small, faint, but real." "Probably a hot rock," said Jox, the group's medic. "Or maybe the scanner's drunk again." Rin didn't smile. "It's moving. Slowly. It's alive." The room went quiet. "Suit up," he said. The storm outside was wild, but they pushed through it. 3 of them, Rin, Kara, and Jox, followed the scanner's signal. Their visors fogged up. Snow crunched under their boots. They moved like shadows in a white ocean. After an hour of slow walking, the scanner beeped faster. "We're close," Kara said. They stopped near a small hill of ice. The scanner went crazy. "Right here," Rin shouted over the wind. Kara pulled out a heat drill and started melting the snow. The ground hissed as steam rose. They dug fast, hands numb and hearts racing. Jox made a joke about finding another dead goat, but no one laughed. Then they saw something. First, a hand, small, thin, gloved in strange material. Not human. Holy. Jox stopped mid-word. They dug faster. The snow gave way to reveal a body. A girl, maybe 16 or 17 in appearance, but clearly not human. Her skin was pale, with faint blue glowing lines running under it like veins of light. Her hair was silver. Her face peaceful, but her body cold, almost frozen. "She's alive," Rin said. He didn't ask how he knew. He just knew. Jox checked her vitals. Weak pulse, breathing. Slow, but there. "We have to warm her up," Kara said. "Fast." They wrapped her in thermal blankets and carried her back through the storm. The snow seemed angrier now, like it didn't want to let her go. Back at the cave, they placed her near the emergency heater. Jox hooked her up to a portable life monitor. Her pulse was faint, but stable. She didn't open her eyes. "She's alien," Kara whispered. "No record of this species. No tags, no suit ID. Nothing," Rin added. "Where did she come from?" As they discussed, her body twitched. Her eyes fluttered, and then slowly they opened. Everyone froze. Her eyes were glowing. Not bright, just a soft light, like 2 tiny stars. She looked scared, but too weak to move. Jox stepped forward, slowly. "It's okay. You're safe. We found you in the snow." She blinked, confused. Then she whispered something. A single word, soft but clear, in a language none of them knew. The walls of the cave hummed for a second, like they had heard it too. The girl coughed, her body shaking. Rin touched her shoulder. She didn't pull away. Instead, she leaned toward him, like she could feel his warmth. "She needs heat," Jox said. "And maybe human touch." "Is she afraid?" Kara asked. Rin looked at her. "No, she's dying." They turned up the heat and stayed close to her. She didn't speak again, but her breathing became more stable. She watched them with those glowing eyes, full of something ancient, like she'd seen more than anyone her age should have. Kara noticed something strange. The girl had a small crystal hanging around her neck. It was cracked. Inside, something flickered, almost like a tiny storm in a bottle. "Whatever this is," Kara said, "it's not from this galaxy." Suddenly, the lights flickered. The heaters glitched for a moment and returned. The girl looked up, alarmed. Her glowing eyes went wide. Then she did something none of them expected. She raised her hand and pointed to the north wall of the cave. "What is it?" Rin asked. She pressed her hand weakly to the floor. A blue symbol began to glow beneath it, one that hadn't been there before. A circle, a star, and what looked like a door. "What the hell is that?" Jocks whispered. The girl looked at them. Her voice cracked as she said one more word. "Don't open it." Asterisk warmth shared, secrets revealed. The cave was quiet. Too quiet. Since the alien girl spoke her last whisper, "Don't open it," no one had said a word. The symbol glowing on the cave floor had faded, but its image was burned into everyone's mind. A circle, a star, and a door. Rin stared at it like it might bite. Jocks had already scanned it twice. No results. The floor was just rock. But the scanner beeped faintly near that spot, like something deep underground was pulsing. Meanwhile, the alien girl slept. Her body still glowed faintly under the thermal blankets. Kara sat beside her, holding her hand. The warmth seemed to help. Her breathing was more stable now. But she still hadn't said another word. "She's scared of something," Kara said. Quietly. "She should be," Rin replied. "So should we." Later that night, when the storm outside softened into a soft whisper, Jocks reviewed the thermal logs from the earlier hike. That's when he spotted something strange. "There's another heat signature," he said, frowning. "We didn't see it before." Rin leaned over his shoulder. "Where?" "About 5 clicks east. Same time we found her." It blinked on 4. A second, then vanished. But here's the weird part. It was hot. Like engine core hot. "You think something else crashed here? Or something woke up?" Jocks muttered. The next morning, the girl finally opened her eyes again. She was weak but alert. She looked at each crew member one by one, her eyes lingering longest on Kara, then on Rin. She placed her hand over her chest and then pointed to them. "Thank you," she said slowly. Her voice was soft, careful, like she was learning the words as she spoke them. Kara smiled. "You're welcome." "What's your name?" The girl paused, then said a word that sounded like wind chimes underwater. It was unpronounceable. She frowned, frustrated. Then she simply pointed to herself and sighed, "Vara." That worked. Vara couldn't explain everything. Not yet, but she communicated with gestures, drawings, and short, broken phrases. She drew pictures in the snow outside the cave, strange towers, machines, lights in the sky. One drawing made there. Skin crawl, a giant door hidden under the ice, with shadows spilling out of it. Beneath the drawing, she carved one symbol over and over again. Danger. Later. As night fell, Vara stood silently near the edge of the cave. She looked out at the frozen landscape, her silver hair catching the moonlight. Rin walked up beside her. "You're looking for something, aren't you?" Vara nodded. Then she reached into her suit and pulled out the cracked crystal hanging from her neck. She handed it to him. As soon as he touched it, images flooded his mind, flashes of stars. Exploding, a burning city of glass towers, and a creature made of shadows swallowing people whole. Rin dropped the crystal. Vara looked at him with sad eyes. "It hunts warmth," she said. Back inside the cave, the temperature suddenly dropped. The heaters still ran, but the air felt colder, like something invisible had just entered the room. Kara noticed frost forming on the inside of the cave. "Wall, that shouldn't be possible. What the hell?" Jock said. He checked the systems. Everything was working. Then they heard it. A knock. Soft, deliberate knock. Knock. Knock from inside the cave wall. Vara panicked. She stepped back, breathing fast. Her body began to glow brighter, like her own warmth was rising in defense. She grabbed Rin's hand. "Don't open," she said again. "It hears." Rin pulled his weapon. "What hears?" Vara looked at the cave wall and whispered a word they didn't understand. Jock backed up. "I've got a really bad feeling about this." Later that night, the crew gathered to decide what to do. "We need to leave," Kara said. "Something is wrong here." "We can't just leave her behind," Rin snapped. "Then we take her with us. But we need to get out before." Suddenly, Vara sat upright, eyes wide. She pointed toward the entrance. "Too late," she said. The scanner screamed. Something was moving toward the cave. Not walking, gliding. Rin aimed his rifle. Jock stared at the screen. I think it's using heat signatures. It's tracking us." Kara turned to Vara. "What does it want?" Vara looked down. Her voice shook. "Fire. And to feed." Asterisk the pulse beneath the ice they ran, not from a monster they could see, but from a presence they felt, like the air itself was watching. Them. The snow outside the cave glowed faint blue under the twin moons. But that beauty vanished as the scanners went haywire again. "It's coming straight toward us," Jock said. "But I'm not picking up a body. No bones, no shape. Just heat, moving like smoke." Rin pulled Vara close. "What is it?" Her voice shook. "It's not it. It's what's below." 20 minutes later, Teen Echo 7 abandoned the cave. Vara led them across the icy wasteland with strange confidence, her bare feet leaving no prints. The wind whispered, the sky flickered with cold lightning, and behind them, silence. That was the worst part. Nothing chased them. Nothing made a sound. But they all felt it, the weight of something ancient watching from below. Like the ground itself had eyes. Vara finally stopped at a cliffside. She pointed down. Asterisk there, hidden behind sharp ice formations and thick fog, was a narrow tunnel unnatural, too perfect to be a cave. Its walls shimmered slightly, like they were alive. "This," she whispered, "is where I came from." Kara peered down. "What is this place?" "Not mine," Vara said. "Older, forgotten, dangerous." Jock muttered, "Then why are we going inside?" "Because," Rin replied, tightening his grip on the rifle, "whatever woke up came from down there." They descended the tunnel, flashlights flickering, guns drawn. The deeper they went, the warmer it got. Yes, warmer. Despite the freezing planet above, this place pulsed with heat. The walls weren't stone. They were metal, covered in lines that looked like veins that glowed when they passed. "Think this whole place is alive," Kara said. Rin said nothing, but he agreed. And they saw the first door. Tall, round, black, completely smooth, with no handle. But at its center, a glowing symbol, the same one Vara had drawn in the snow. Circle, star, door. "I've seen this in nightmares," Jock whispered. Vara didn't move. "It's sealed, but not for long." Rin stepped forward. "Why was it sealed?" "To trap what's inside," she replied. Everyone froze. Just then, something banged from behind the door. Not once, not twice. 3 knocks. Exactly like before, except this time, the sound echoed in their heads. Jock stumbled back. Nope. Rin turned to Vara. "Is that what's hunting us?" She nodded. "What is it?" Kara asked. "A weapon? A creature?" Vara looked at them with haunted eyes. "It was once a god." The team made camp in a chamber nearby metal walls, strange lights, and a quiet hum beneath their feet. It wasn't safe, but it was better than sleeping next to a cosmic prison. While the others rested, Rin stayed awake, staring at the door. Suddenly, Vara sat beside him. She didn't speak, just sat. After a moment, she gently placed her hand over his dot. It was warm, not just heat. Human warm. Real. Soft. I felt this once, she said quietly. Before I was frozen. Rin looked at her. Who froze you? She didn't answer. Just looked down. But her next words chilled him. They didn't freeze me to save me. A beat of silence. They froze me. To stop it from following me. Just as she spoke, the ground shook. Alarms on their scanners screamed. Lights blinked. Red. The massive black door at the tunnel's end was opening. No one touched it. No one was near it. But something on the other side had decided it was time. Inside the door, they saw nothing. No monster. No god, not just a pulsing orb. Floating above. The floor. Silent. Glowing faint gold. Surrounded by what looked like shattered armor. Bones of long-dead aliens. And one human-looking helmet. It whispered. Not in sound, but in thought. Come closer. Vara collapsed. Her body started glowing violently, too bright. Her eyes rolled. Back. She's overheating. Kara yelled. Jax ran to help, but as soon as he crossed the threshold of the chamber, his nose bled. He dropped to his knees. The orb pulsed again. And then it spoke through Jax's mouth. I have waited. You burn bright. Let me in. Rin raised his rifle, hands shaking. Let him go. Jax's head jerked, cracking unnaturally. Vara suddenly screamed, Don't shoot. If it dies while inside, it jumps. Rin froze. Kara pulled out a thermal dampener. We have to freeze Jax, fast. Together, they blast Jax with a shock freeze unit. His body stiffens. The orb screeches a sound that somehow lives in the jaw. Bones. And then it fades. Back into the chamber. Back into waiting. The team drags Jax out, unconscious but alive. Vara, barely standing, whispers, This place is a gate, and the god inside has only tasted one mind. Rin looked back at the door, and it pulsed like a heart, waiting to beat again. Asterisk. The thing that shouldn't wake Jax opened his eyes, but he wasn't blinking. His eyes just clicked open. Like shutters, Rin froze mid-step. Jax? The man sat upright. Slowly, too smoothly, his joints moving like someone was testing them out for the first time. Like a kid playing with a new action figure. Then Jax smiled. But it wasn't his smile. Too wide. Too perfect. Too wrong. Kara whispered. It didn't leave. Vara nodded slowly. It never does. Not unless it finds a better host. Rin stepped forward, gun raised. Jax, if you're in there, say something. Jax tilted his head. Jax. Yes, that was the name. He looked down at his hands, turned them over, flexed them. Strange, soft, warm, but so full of fear. You humans burn so beautifully. Then his voice shifted lower, layered, like multiple voices speaking through one throat. I've worn many minds, but this one? He looked directly at Vara. This one remembers you. Kara grabbed Vara's arm and yanked her back. What does it mean? Vara's voice trembled. It was in my brother. A long time ago, it broke him. Bit by bit, until nothing was left but that smile. Suddenly, Jax stood, eyes glowing faint gold. Let me show you, he said. And then everything went black. The lights, the screens, even the backup generators failed. But somehow, they could all see flashes, visions, not their own. A world on fire, towers melting, Children running. Skies torn open, and the creature shifting shape. Wearing faces. Stealing voices. Becoming whatever its host fears most. And then silence. The lights returned. Jax was gone. Rin, Kara, and Vara were left standing alone in the hallway. The massive black door to the chamber had slammed shut again, glowing brighter than before. Rin slammed his fist on the wall. Where the hell did he go? Vara didn't answer. She was staring at her own reflection in the metal wall, her eyes flickering. Dimming. Something was wrong. Kara noticed it too. You're fading. Vara touched her chest. Her skin no longer glowed. The connection is breaking. What connection? Rin asked. Vara looked at him with haunted eyes. I was the lock. Now the lock is broken. That night, while trying to regroup at a backup outpost, the 3 remaining crew members studied the ancient machine they had taken from the chamber, a piece of armor shaped for no human body, but still warm to the touch. Kara ran tests. This tech isn't just old. It's living. It reacts to thought. Emotion. Heat. Vara nodded. It feeds on warmth, on fear, on passion. It can't survive without it. And it can't be stopped without it, she added. Meanwhile, Jax, wherever he was changing. His body cracked as he walked across the snow, shirtless in the freezing wind, smiling like nothing could touch him. His skin no longer turned red from the cold. Instead, the cold avoided him, and as he moved, things around him changed. Trees that hadn't been there now stood tall and twisted. Shadows followed him, bending the world with every step. He looked up at the sky. And the stars blinked back. Back at the outpost, Rin pulled Vara aside. You said you were the lock. What happens if he finds the key? Vara hesitated. Then he stops pretending. Rin narrowed his eyes. Pretending? She nodded. That smile, that voice, the walking. That's not him trying to look human. That's him trying to remember how. Suddenly, a distress signal came through on the old radio system. It was a voice. Jax's voice. Help me. Please, it's me. I'm still in here. I'm cold. So cold. And static. Kara looked horrified. Is that really him? Vara shook her head. It's bait. But Rin wasn't so sure. They tracked the signal to an abandoned mining site buried under the ice. As they stepped inside, heat rushed toward them, unnatural heat, thick and humid. Inside, the walls were pulsing like lungs. The metal floor was soft, breathing, and there he was. Jax. Naked, kneeling, crying. I fought it, he sobbed. I swear, I fought it. But as Rin stepped closer, he saw it, the eyes, still glowing, still smiling. But now crying too. Like 2 people were trapped in the same skin, one screaming to be let out, and the other savoring it. Vara whispered. It's learning emotion, using it against you. Then the lights went out again, and this time, something else came through the dark. Not a man, not a god, something in between. Asterisk the burn and the bond. The creature smiled with Jax's face. It cried with his eyes. It begged. With his voice. But it was never him. Not really. As Rin stepped forward, weapon raised, he hesitated. Was it possible? Could a piece of Jax still be in there, trapped behind the thing wearing his skin like a winter coat? Vara's voice cut through the heavy air. Don't trust the face. That's not your friend. Asterisk, the abandoned mining facility around them was warping walls. Bending, floors breathing, pipes pulsing with heat like arteries. The parasite wasn't just in Jax anymore. It was in the metal. In the air. In the planet. Kara screamed from behind. One of the floor vents exploded open, and a copy of her crawled. Out of it. Same face. Same uniform. Same voice. Help me, it begged. I'm stuck. The real Kara raised her gun with shaking hands. That's not funny. Rin spun around. It's copying us? Vara's face turned cold. It's evolving. Suddenly, Jox lunged, not to attack to hug Rin, but the hug wasn't warm. It was ice underneath skin, like being wrapped in a corpse that hadn't realized it was dead. You care, Jox whispered. That's why you're warm. That's why I need you. Then his skin began to melt into Rin's armor. Like tar, like infection. Rin screamed, tore away, ripping off his jacket, chunks of it hissing as they hit the ground. Kara dragged him back. It's trying to wear you next. Vara stepped forward, alone. Her hands glowed again, but weakly. You can't have them, she said. You've had enough. The creature laughed with Jox's broken voice. Then give me you, little firefly. You burned brightest of all. Vara didn't hesitate. She touched him. And Jox, no. The thing pretending to be Jox burst into flame. Not real fire. Not heat. Emotion. Memories. Laughter. Sadness. Loss. It screamed. Not in pain, but confusion. What is this feeling? Vara's face trembled with tears. It's grief. The parasite exploded out of Jox's body, a dark mist with tendrils and mouths screeching as it fled into the air vents. Jox collapsed, breathing, shallow but alive. Is he free? Kara asked. No, Vara whispered. But now it knows what we are. Back at the outpost, Rin helped carry Jox's unconscious body inside. His skin steamed. His veins glowed faintly gold. He's fighting it, Vara said. But it left a mark. Rin sat down, finally shaking. It feeds on connection. It wants our warmth, but it can't make its own. Kara looked at the fire pit. So what if we give it more than it can handle? Vara turned slowly. You mean burn it out? Kara nodded. Make it feel something so real it can't survive it. They made a plan. They weren't soldiers anymore. They were fuel. Their rage. Their heartbreak. All weapons now. And Jox, half human, half infected, would lead them back into the heart of the parasite's lair. Because now he could hear it. It whispered in his mind like static. And sometimes he whispered back. As they suited up, Vara approached Rin. You care about them, she said. I do. That makes you dangerous. To who? She smiled faintly. To the thing pretending not to be afraid of you. Outside, the snow began to melt in places it shouldn't. The air shimmered. The ground pulsed. And deep beneath the ice, a god thing dreamed of becoming human, not through birth, but by consuming humanity from the inside out. What it didn't realize. Humanity bites back. The human flame. The plan was simple. Bait it. Break it. Burn it. But nothing about this parasite, this ancient, thought-feeding, warmth-hunting entity, had ever been simple. It wasn't just a monster. It was a memory eater. A mimic. A shadow that wanted more than survival. It wanted to become human. Rin, Kara, Vara, and half-possessed Jox stood in a circle around the old power core facility, once a mining outpost, now a battlefield. Jox's veins still glowed faint gold, his body half-lit from the parasite's leftovers. I can feel it in me, he said quietly. It's not speaking anymore. It's listening, waiting. Rin glanced at Vara. Why? Because it's scared, she said. For the first time in 1,000 years, it doesn't understand us. The team had rigged the facility with what they called emotional amplifiers. Basically, memory echo loops, thermal resonance spikes, neural pain echoes, high-tech empathy bombs. The idea? Drown the parasite in the one thing it couldn't fake. Real human. Emotion. Pain, loss, love, regret. All in it. Then the lights dimmed. JAX fell to his knees. It's here, The walls began to sweat. The air thickened, and through the cracked doorway, it slithered in, not a shape, not a form, just ... a presence. The room dropped 20 degrees instantly. The shadows bent inward, and then it spoke, not out loud, inside. Let me in. Suddenly, Jocks stood upright, his eyes gone gold again. Don't stop me, he said. It needs a door, and I'm already half open. Rin grabbed him. You'll die. Jocks smiled. Not if I burn first. Then he ran toward the core room, slamming the vault behind. Him. Inside, Jocks activated the amplifiers. One by one, they flared, projecting memories into the air like ghosts. His first childhood hug, his mother's laugh, his brother's death, his own fear, his failure, his hope, his friendship with Kara, his guilt toward Rin, his love for them all. The parasite shrieked inside him, trying to wriggle out, but it was trapped in a storm of raw, unfiltered humanity. Asterisk outside the door, Kara screamed. He's going to fry his own mind. Vara whispered. That's the point. He's not trying to win. She looked at Rin. He's trying to show it what it can never be. Inside, Jocks lit the final sequence. The core began to glow, and in one last moment of clarity, he looked at the parasite, now appearing as dozens of faces from his memory, his fears, his doubts, even himself. And he said, You wanted to feel. Now drown in it. And he lit the flame. The core exploded in a controlled emotional surge. Not fire, not radiation, but soul. The entire base flashed gold, the snow outside evaporating in a perfect circle. For a moment, everything was still. Then, scream, not from one throat. But millions. The parasite wasn't killed. It was overwhelmed. The team found Jocks, collapsed near the still glowing core. Alive. Barely. But free. No gold in his eyes. No parasite in his veins. Just a man, earned by love and still breathing. Later, as they left the ruins, Vara stood silently watching the melted snowfield. The god is gone, she said. Rin raised an eyebrow. Gone? She nodded. It didn't die. It couldn't. But it tasted something it never expected. Kara stepped forward. And what's that? Vara looked at them. A soul it couldn't steal. But just as they turned away, deep beneath the ground, something twitched. A spark. One last echo. And it remembered a face. Voice. A warmth. Yours. Asterisk the last ember weeks passed. The snow returned. The cold, once haunted, was now just ... cold. Echo 7's mission had been declared inconclusive. By command. The official report? Unknown weather anomaly. Power failure. Personnel trauma. Minimal alien interaction. Classic cover-up. They didn't mention the god. They didn't mention the screams. They didn't mention Jocks, whose body healed faster than anyone expected, but whose dreams still flickered with gold. Vara, now living in a specially built atmospheric dome, stood by the window every morning. She stared at the horizon like she was waiting for something to rise, not the sun. Something older. Rin visited her daily. Sometimes they talked. Sometimes they just sat. Words weren't always needed between people who had faced the end together. But lately, Rin had noticed something strange. She wasn't glowing anymore. Not even. A little. One night, she called him in. Her voice was soft, serious. There's something I need to show you, she said. He followed her to the medical scanner. She lay down, ran the scan, and pointed to the screen. Rin frowned. That's a heartbeat, he said. She nodded. He looked again. Wait, that's not your heartbeat. She nodded again. Slower this time. And whispered, It's not mine. The scan showed a small pulsing energy growing inside her. Not organic. Not entirely. It was faint, golden. Familiar? The parasite? Rin asked, breath-catching. Vara shook her head. No, not anymore. She explained. When she touched the entity, when she poured her emotion into it, a piece of it stayed behind. Not the monster. Not the hunger. Something else. A spark. A seed. But this time, shaped by warmth. Shaped by her. By J-A-X. By them. Kara ran every test she could. The energy growing inside Vara didn't act like a parasite. It didn't mimic. It didn't steal. It didn't whisper. It listened. It learned. And slowly, it began to dream. That terrified everyone, because the last time a god dreamed, entire civilizations vanished. But Vara disagreed. No, she said. This time, it's dreaming of something it never had. Rin asked, what? Her answer was simple. A beginning. Asterisk Command found out. They wanted to extract and contain. The spark. Study it. Dissect it. Weaponize it. The usual stupid human reaction to anything new and slightly glowing. Rin refused. Kara threatened to leak every file they had. JAX. Now fully recovered, though always haunted, stood in front of the exit bay with a smile that dared anyone to come closer. No one did. In the final scene. Vara stood alone at the edge of the snowy cliff, where they'd first found her half buried, half frozen, half dead. Now she stood tall. Still alien, still mysterious, but glowing again. And this time, the glow was golden. From within. Rin joined her. He looked down at the growing shimmer beneath her skin. Is it safe? He asked. Vara smiled faintly. Nothing is ever safe, she said. But maybe it's human. They stared at the horizon together. A new storm was coming. But this time, it didn't feel like the end. It felt like the start of a new story.